The galaxy had one rule that nobody dared to break. Never enter the Vorkith domain. For 10,000 years, every species stayed away. The Vorkith were monsters. They were killers. They destroyed anyone who crossed their border. But today, something changed. Captain Sarachin sat in her command chair on the human ship called the Phoenix. She was tired. Her crew was tired. They were coming home after a long mission. Then suddenly, her communications officer shouted, "Captain, we are receiving a distress signal." Sarah stood up fast. "Where is it coming from?" The officer's face went pale. From inside the Vorkith domain, "Captain." The entire bridge went silent. Everyone knew what that meant. Death. Sarah walked to the screen. She listened to the signal. It was weak. It was breaking up. But she heard the words clearly. "This is Colony Ship Horizon. We are lost. 5,000 families on board. Life support failing. Please, anyone, help us." Sarah's heart stopped. 5,000 families. Children, parents, grandparents. All humans. All going to die. Her second officer spoke quietly. "Captain, we cannot go in there. The Vorkith kill everyone who enters their space. It is suicide." Sarah closed her eyes. She thought about those families. She thought about the children crying for help. She thought about the Vorkith and their terrible power. Then she opened her eyes. Set course for the signal. Full speed. Her crew stared at her in shock. "Captain, please think about this," her second officer begged. "The Vorkith have weapons that can destroy planets. Our ship is nothing to them." Sarah turned to face her crew. Her voice was calm but strong. "I know the danger. I know we might die. But those are our people in there. They are humans. And humans do not abandon their own. Ever." She sat back in her command chair. "Take us in." The ship turned and moved toward the Vorkith border. As they crossed the invisible line, alarms screamed across the galaxy. Every species with sensors watched in horror. The humans had entered the Vorkith domain. Suddenly, Sarah's screen lit up. A message appeared. It was from the Vorkith. Just 4 words. "Turn back or die." Sarah took a deep breath. She typed a response with steady hands. "We do not leave our people behind." She hit send. 10 seconds later, 3 massive Vorkith warships appeared on the screen. Each one was 10 times bigger than the Phoenix. Each one had enough weapons to destroy a moon. The lead Vorkith commander's face filled the screen. He was huge. His eyes glowed red with anger. His voice was like thunder. "You die now, human." The 3 Vorkith warships surrounded the Phoenix like hungry wolves. Sarah's crew was terrified. Their hands shook on the controls. Some of them were praying quietly. The Vorkith commander stared at Sarah through the screen. His face was filled with hate and anger. "I am Commander Thrak. I have killed 1,000 ships. You will be number 1,001. This is your last chance. Turn back now or I will destroy you." Sarah stood up slowly. She looked directly at Commander Thrak. Her voice did not shake. "Commander, there are 5,000 human families dying in your territory. We are going to save them. You can try to stop us, but we will not turn back." Thrak's eyes went wide with shock. No species had ever refused him before. Everyone always ran away. Everyone always begged for mercy. "You're either very brave or very stupid. Human." Sarah smiled a cold smile. "We are human. We are both." Thrak roared with rage. "Then you will die." His warship powered up its main weapon. The weapon glowed with terrible energy. It had destroyed moons. It had broken planets. One shot would turn the Phoenix into dust. Sarah's crew grabbed their seats. They knew this was the end. The weapon fired. But Sarah did not run. She did not dodge. She kept flying straight toward the distress signal. The blast hit a small moon near them. The moon exploded into 1,000,000 pieces. The shock wave shook the Phoenix. But Sarah kept going. Thrak was confused now. "Why do you not run? Why do you not fear death?" Sarah's voice was steady. "Because fear will not save my people. Only action will." Suddenly, new signals appeared on the screen. More human ships were arriving at the Vorkith border. 10 ships. then 20, then 50. Sarah's communication officer spoke with pride. Captain, Earth Command is sending a message to the entire galaxy. The message played for everyone to hear. This is Earth Command to all species. The Vorkith have threatened human lives. If they want war, humanity will give them a war they will never forget. We protect our own. Always. Commander Thrak saw the human fleet gathering. He saw their weapons powering up. He saw their determination. For the first time in his life, Thrak felt something strange. Something he had never felt before. Uncertainty. He pressed a button on his command chair. His face disappeared from the screen. Then new words appeared in red letters. You will meet the Emperor. He will decide your fate. Before Sarah could respond, a bright light surrounded her. She felt her body being pulled apart and put back together. When the light faded, she was not on her ship anymore. She was standing in a massive throne room. The walls were made of black metal. Bones of defeated enemies hung from the ceiling. And sitting on a giant throne in front of her was the largest creature she had ever seen, the Vorkith Emperor. He leaned forward and studied her like a scientist studies an insect. So, his voice was deep like an earthquake. You are the human who does not fear death. Let us see if that is true. Sarah stood alone in the throne room. The Vorkith Emperor was massive. He was 3 times taller than any human. His body was covered in scars from 1,000 battles. His eyes glowed like fire. Around him stood 50 Vorkith warriors. Each one was a killer. Each one was undefeated. The Emperor stared at Sarah for a long time. He did not speak. He just watched her. Sarah did not look away. She did not show fear. Finally, the Emperor spoke. His voice shook the entire room. I am Emperor Drazen. I have ruled for 2,000 years. I have conquered 100 worlds. I have killed kings, generals, and champions with my own hands. And you are so small, so weak. Tell me, human, why do you not shake with fear? Sarah took a breath. She looked straight into the Emperor's burning eyes. Because fear will not save my people, Emperor. Only courage will. The throne room went completely silent. No one had ever spoken to the Emperor like this before. Emperor Drazen stood up from his throne. He was like a mountain. His shadow covered Sarah completely. You have courage. I will give you that. But courage without power is nothing. Here is my offer. Fight my champion. If you win, I will let you take your people and leave. If you lose, humanity will surrender to the Vorkith forever. Your entire species will become our slaves. The warriors around the room laughed. They thought this was very funny. A small human fighting a Vorkith champion? Impossible. But Sarah did not hesitate. I accept your challenge, Emperor. The Emperor smiled. He liked her spirit. Good. My champion will crush you quickly. It will be entertaining. Then Sarah said something that shocked everyone. I have a different idea, Emperor. Why should I fight your champion? Let me fight you instead. The laughter stopped immediately. The entire throne room became silent like a grave. The warriors stared at Sarah in complete disbelief. No one challenged the Emperor. Ever. Emperor Drazen's smile disappeared. His eyes burned brighter. He walked down from his throne slowly. Each step sounded like thunder. He stopped right in front of Sarah. He looked down at her. You dare challenge me? Do you know how many I've tried? Do you know how many I've killed? Sarah's voice was calm. I do not care about the past, Emperor. I only care about saving my people. The Emperor stared at her. Then, slowly he started to laugh. It was not a cruel laugh. It was a laugh of genuine surprise. You are either the bravest human I have ever met, or the most foolish. Very well. I accept your challenge. But I will make it interesting. He walked to a wall covered in weapons. He picked up a massive sword. It was taller than Sarah. It glowed with dark energy. The Emperor had used this sword to kill 100 champions. If you can survive against me for just 5 minutes, I will let all your people go free. If you fail, humanity becomes mine forever. He turned to face Sarah, his sword ready. But know this, human. In 2,000 years, no one has ever survived 5 minutes against me in combat. Sarah had no weapon. She had no armor. She only had her courage and her will. The Emperor raised his sword. Are you ready to die, human? Sarah cracked her knuckles. Her eyes were filled with determination. Are you ready to bleed, Emperor? The Emperor's eyes went wide. Then he roared and charged at her with incredible speed. The fight began. The Emperor's sword came down like lightning. Sarah rolled to the side just in time. The sword hit the floor and cracked the metal. The entire room shook. The Vorkith warriors watched in shock. No one ever dodged the Emperor's first strike. No one. The Emperor attacked again. Fast, powerful, deadly. Sarah was smaller, so she was faster. She ducked under his blade. She moved like water. The Emperor's sword cut through the air where she had been standing 1 second before. You are quick, human, but speed will not save you. The Emperor swung his sword in a wide circle. Sarah jumped back. The blade missed her face by inches. She could feel the heat from the weapon. 1 minute passed. The warriors whispered to each other. She is still alive. How is this possible? The Emperor attacked faster now. Left, right, overhead, spinning strikes. Sarah dodged each one, but she was getting tired. Her breathing was heavy. Sweat ran down her face. 2 minutes passed. The Emperor smiled. You are good, human, better than I expected, but you are only defending. You cannot win by running away. Sarah knew he was right. She had to do something different. She had to attack. The Emperor raised his sword high for a powerful downward strike. This was her chance. Instead of dodging backward, Sarah ran forward. She ran straight at the Emperor. The warriors gasped. Sarah slid under the Emperor's sword. She was now right beneath him. She punched upward with all her strength. Her fist hit the Emperor's knee joint. The Emperor stumbled. Just a little, but he stumbled. The throne room exploded with noise. The warriors could not believe it. The Emperor had not lost his balance in 800 years. 3 minutes passed. The Emperor looked at Sarah with new eyes. He was not angry. He was impressed. You surprise me, human. You do not just run. You fight back. Sarah was breathing hard now. Blood ran from a cut on her arm. But she stood tall. Humans always fight back, Emperor. It is what we do. The Emperor nodded slowly. Then let me show you what the Vorkith do. He moved faster than before. Much faster. His sword became a blur. Sarah tried to dodge, but she was too slow now. Too tired. The blade caught her shoulder. She fell to one knee. Blood poured from the wound. For minutes passed. The warriors cheered. The Emperor wins. The human is finished. But Sarah did not stay down. She stood up. Her legs shook. Her vision was blurry. But she raised her fist again. I still have 1 minute left, Emperor. The Emperor stopped attacking. He stared at her. This small, wounded, bleeding human refused to quit. Why? The Emperor asked quietly. Why do you not surrender? You have fought with honor. No one would blame you for stopping now. Sarah's voice was weak but clear. Because 5,000 families are counting on me. I will not quit while they still need me. For minutes and 30 seconds passed. The Emperor raised his sword one final time. This would be the last strike. Sarah could barely stand. She could barely see. But she did not run. The Emperor swung his sword. Sarah did something impossible. With her last of strength, she stepped inside his swing. She punched the Emperor's chest with everything she had left. The Emperor's armor cracked. Time stopped. The Emperor looked down at his chest. A small crack in his armor. A tiny drop of his blood fell to the floor. The throne room went completely silent. The Emperor had not bled in combat for 800 years. 5 minutes passed. The Emperor lowered his sword. He started to laugh. Not an angry laugh. A laugh of pure joy. Enough, he roared. Stop the fight. Sarah collapsed to her knees. She had survived 5 minutes. The Emperor walked to her. He looked down at her broken, bleeding body. Then he did something that shocked every Vorkith in the room. He kneeled down beside her. Human, you have earned something no species has ever earned from a Vorkith. Sarah looked up at him. What is that? The Emperor smiled. Our respect. and our alliance. The Emperor helped Sarah to her feet. His warriors could not believe what they were seeing. Their Emperor never helped anyone. He only destroyed his enemies. But Sarah was not his enemy anymore. Heal her wounds, the Emperor commanded. She is no longer a prisoner. She is our honored guest. Medical officers rushed forward. They treated Sarah's injuries carefully. The Emperor watched them work. Then he spoke to his warriors. Today, I learned something important. The humans are not weak. They are the bravest species in this galaxy. From this moment forward, the Vorkith and humanity are allies. He pressed a button on his throne. Every screen in the galaxy lit up. Every species heard his next words. I am Emperor Drazen of the Vorkith. I declare the human colony ship will be rescued immediately. Any Vorkith ship that harms humans will answer to me personally. The Vorkith domain is now open to human ships only. We are allies. The Galactic Council was watching. They were terrified. The most powerful empire in the galaxy had just allied with a newcomer species. The council members panicked. This is a disaster, the council leader said. If humans and Vorkith unite, they will be unstoppable. They could rule the entire galaxy. Other species who had laughed at humanity before were now afraid. The ones who had called humans weak and stupid were now silent. Within hours, the human colony ship was rescued. All 5,000 families were saved. They were given food, medicine, and safe passage home. The Vorkith treated them with honor and respect. Sarah returned to Earth as a hero. The entire planet celebrated. But Sarah knew something others did not know. During her time on the Vorkith homeworld, the Emperor had told her a secret. A great darkness is coming to this galaxy, Sarah Chun. My scouts have seen something at the edge of known space. Something ancient. Something terrible. Alone, neither humans nor Vorkith can stop it. But together we might have a chance. 2 weeks later, Sarah's worst fears came true. Strange ships appeared at the galaxy's edge. They were massive, bigger than anything anyone had ever seen. They were made of black metal that seemed to absorb light itself. The ships attacked without warning. 3 colonies were destroyed in one day. Millions died. The attackers left no survivors. They sent no messages. They showed no mercy. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. Every species was represented. They were all afraid. The council leader stood up. His voice was shaking. We do not know who these attackers are. We do not know what they want. Our strongest fleets have been destroyed. Our weapons do not work against them. We are facing extinction. He paused. Then he looked directly at the human and Vorkith representatives. We need your help. Both of you. Please, will you save us? Sarah received the transmission on her ship. She was with Emperor Drazen on a video call. The Emperor looked at her. Sarah Chun, my sensors show more of these enemy ships arriving every day. Soon, they will attack our homeworlds. This will be the biggest battle in galactic history. Will your people fight beside the Vorkith? Sarah thought about Earth. She thought about her family. She thought about every human in the galaxy. She thought about the 5,000 families she had saved. Then she thought about something else. She thought about all the species in the galaxy, even the ones who had been cruel to humans, even the ones who had laughed at them. They were all living beings. They all had families. They all deserved a chance to survive. Sarah made her decision. Emperor, tell the Galactic Council this. Humanity will fight, not because they begged us, not because we want glory, but because it is the right thing to do. And humans always do what is right. The Emperor smiled with pride. Then let us show this enemy what happens when they threaten our galaxy. But neither Sarah nor the Emperor knew the terrible truth yet. The enemy's ships were not piloted by living beings. They were ancient machines. They were called the Reavers. They had destroyed 1,000 civilizations before. They were programmed with one mission only: cleanse a galaxy of all organic life. The Reaver fleet was unstoppable. In 3 weeks, they destroyed 50 worlds. Billions died. The Galactic Council's armies were crushed like insects. Their weapons did nothing against the Reaver ships. Fear spread across the galaxy like a disease. species that had existed for millions of years, prepared for extinction. But Sarah Chun and Emperor Drazen were not giving up. They met on a human space station to plan the final battle. Around them stood the best generals from both species. The room was filled with worry and doubt. "The Reavers have destroyed everything we sent against them," a Vorkid general said. "How can we win?" Sarah looked at the battle reports. The numbers were terrible. The Reavers had 500 massive warships. Humanity and the Vorkid together had only 50 ships ready for battle. The odds were 10 to 1 against them. "We cannot win with numbers," Sarah said quietly. "But maybe we can win with courage." Emperor Drazen nodded. "The human is right. The Reavers are machines. They do not feel fear. They do not feel doubt. But we do. And that is our strength, not our weakness." Sarah had an idea, a desperate idea. But it might work. "Emperor, what if we do not run from them? What if we fly straight at their fleet? Every ship we have. Direct assault. No retreat. No surrender." The generals thought she was crazy. "That is suicide," one of them said. "Maybe," Sarah replied. "But the Reavers expect us to run. They expect us to hide. Let us give them something they do not expect. Let us show them what happens when humans and Vorkith refuse to quit." Emperor Drazen stood up. His eyes burned with determination. "I like this plan. We will make our stand at the Omega Sector. We will meet the Reavers there. And we will show them that this galaxy belongs to the living, not to machines." 3 days later, the combined human and Vorkith fleet arrived at the Omega Sector. 50 ships against 500 Reavers. Sarah commanded the human fleet. Emperor Drazen commanded the Vorkith fleet. The Reaver ships appeared like a dark cloud. They were massive. They were terrifying. Their weapons could destroy planets. Sarah opened a communication channel to every ship in her fleet. Her voice was calm and strong. "Today, we face impossible odds. Today, many of us will die. But today, we will also show the galaxy what it means to never give up. We fight not for glory. We fight not for power. We fight because it is right. We fight for our families. We fight for our future. We are human. We are Vorkith. And we do not surrender." Emperor Drazen added his voice. "Warriors, this is our finest moment. Let the Reavers see what happens when they threaten our home. Charge." The 50 ships flew straight at the Reaver fleet. No hesitation. No fear. The battle began. The Reavers fired first. The sky filled with deadly energy blasts. 3 human ships exploded immediately. 2 Vorkith ships were torn apart. But the remaining ships kept going forward. Sarah's ship took heavy damage. Fire spread through the corridors. Half her crew was wounded, but she kept fighting. Emperor Drazen's flagship crashed into a Reaver ship and destroyed it. But his ship was badly damaged too. The battle was brutal. Ships exploded on both sides. The space was filled with fire and metal and death. Then something unexpected happened. Other species were watching the battle. They saw humans and Vorkith refusing to retreat. They saw them fighting with everything they had. They saw courage in action, and it inspired them. Suddenly, new ships appeared. Ships from the Galactic Council. Ships from species that had been too afraid to fight before. "This is the Andronian fleet." A voice called out, "We stand with humanity and the Vorkith. This is the Zelnari Defense Force. We will not hide while others fight for us." More and more ships arrived. Species that had been enemies for centuries fought side by side. The galaxy united for the first time in its history. Together, they pushed back the Reavers. Together, they destroyed the ancient machines one by one. The battle lasted 6 hours. When it ended, the Reaver fleet was destroyed. But the cost was terrible. 20 human ships were lost. 15 Vorkith ships were destroyed. Thousands died. Sarah's ship barely survived. Emperor Drazen's flagship was drifting in space, powerless. But they had won. The galaxy was saved. 1 week later, the Galactic Council held a ceremony. Every species attended. Sarah and Emperor Drazen stood before them. The council leader spoke. "We owe our lives to humanity and the Vorkith. We were wrong about humans. We thought they were weak. But they showed us true strength. Strength is not about power. It is about courage. It is about never giving up. He turned to Sarah. Captain Sarah Chun, on behalf of the galaxy, we offer humanity a permanent seat on the Galactic Council. You will help lead us into a new future. Sarah smiled. We did not fight for power or glory. We fought because it was the right thing to do. We will accept your offer, but only if we work together as equals. All species. United. The entire council agreed. Emperor Drazen put his massive hand on Sarah's shoulder. Today, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humans. They are small, but their hearts are larger than stars. They are the bravest species I have ever known. Sarah looked out at the crowd of different species from across the galaxy. We are all different, she said, but we all want the same things. Peace, safety, a future for our children. Today, we prove that when we stand together, nothing can defeat us. Not the Reavers, not fear, not anything. The crowd erupted in cheers that shook the entire station. And from that day forward, whenever any species faced impossible odds, they asked themselves one simple question. What would the humans do? And the answer was always the same. They would never give up. They would never surrender. They would fight with courage until the very end, because that is what humans do. 6 months had passed since the Battle of Omega Sector. The galaxy was rebuilding. Destroyed worlds were being restored. New alliances were forming. Peace seemed possible for the first time in galactic history. Sarah Chun was now Admiral Sarah Chun. She represented humanity on the Galactic Council. She worked alongside Emperor Drazen and leaders from 50 different species. Together, they were building a better future. But Sarah could not shake a feeling in her heart. Something felt wrong. Something felt incomplete. One night, she sat alone in her quarters on Earth. She looked at the stars through her window. Her communication device beeped. It was Emperor Drazen. Sarah, I need to speak with you. Privately. It is urgent. Sarah's heart raced. What is wrong, Emperor? Drazen's face was serious. My scientists have been studying the Reaver ships we destroyed. They found something disturbing. The Reavers we fought were not the main fleet. They were only scouts. Sarah felt cold fear run through her body. What are you saying? I am saying the real Reaver fleet is still out there, somewhere in deep space. And according to the data we found, they number in the thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Sarah stood up fast. We must warn the council immediately. No, Drazen said firmly. Not yet. If we tell them now, panic will spread. The galaxy just started to heal. This news would destroy all hope. Sarah understood, but she did not like it. Then what do we do? We prepare, Drazen said. Quietly, carefully. We build new weapons. We train new soldiers. We strengthen our alliance. And when the Real Reavers come, we will be ready. Sarah nodded slowly. How much time do we have? Drazen's next words made her blood run cold. My scientists estimate the main Reaver fleet will arrive in 1 year. Maybe less. Sarah looked out at the peaceful earth below. Children were playing. Families were laughing. They had no idea what was coming. Then we have work to do, Emperor. We saved the galaxy once. We will do it again. Drazen smiled with respect. This is why I trust humans, Sarah. You never give up, even when hope seems lost. After the call ended, Sarah sat in silence. She thought about everything they had been through. She thought about all the battles ahead. Then she made a promise to herself. The Reavers had destroyed 1,000 civilizations before, but they had never faced humanity at full strength. They had never faced a united galaxy. Sarah opened her personal log and recorded a message. Admiral Sarah Chun, personal log. 6 months after the Battle of Omega Sector. The galaxy thinks the war is over, but I know the truth. The real war has not even begun yet. The Reavers are coming, but this time we will be ready. This time, humanity will not just survive. We will show the Reavers why they should fear us. She closed the log and stood up. She had calls to make, fleets to build, warriors to train. Far away, in the darkness of deep space, something stirred. Thousands of Reaver ships woke from their ancient sleep, their programming activated. Their mission was clear: destroy all organic life in the galaxy. The Reaver hive mind calculated the distance to the nearest inhabited systems. It calculated the strength of the enemy forces. It calculated the probability of success. The calculations were complete. Probability of total galactic extinction, 99%. The Reavers began moving toward the galaxy, an unstoppable wave of death and destruction. But they did not know one important fact. They were about to face humanity, and humanity had never been very good at accepting bad odds. On Earth, Sarah looked up at the stars one more time. She whispered quietly, "Come and get us, Reavers. We will be waiting, and we will show you what happens when you threaten our home." The real war was coming, and humanity would be ready. Sarah wasted no time. The very next morning, she called a secret meeting. Only the most trusted leaders attended. Emperor Drazen came from a Vorkith homeworld. Commander Martinez represented Earth's military. Dr. Yuki Chun led humanity's science division. They met in a hidden facility deep underground on Earth. The room was protected from all scanning and surveillance. Sarah displayed the Reaver data on the main screen. Everyone stared in horror at the numbers. 10,000 Reaver warships, Commander Martinez said quietly. Maybe more. How do we fight that? We do not fight them the same way we fought before, Sarah replied. Last time, we barely survived against 500 ships. This time, we need to be smarter. Dr. Yuki Chin stepped forward. She was humanity's greatest scientist. I have been studying the Reaver technology we captured. I found a weakness. Everyone leaned forward. The Reavers are controlled by a hive mind, Dr. Chin explained. One central intelligence controls all ships. If we can find the hive mind and destroy it, the entire fleet will shut down. Emperor Drazen nodded slowly. That is good intelligence. But there's a problem. The hive mind will be protected by thousands of ships. How do we reach it? Sarah had been thinking about this all night. We create a distraction. A big one. We gather every ship in the galaxy and attack the Reaver fleet directly. While they are busy fighting us, a small strike team sneaks through and destroys the hive mind. A suicide mission, Commander Martinez said. Yes, Sarah agreed, but it is our only chance. Dr. Chin added more information. The strike team will need special ships. I can build them, ships that are invisible to Reaver sensors. But I need time, at least 8 months. Then we have 8 months to prepare the galaxy for the biggest battle in history, Sarah said. Emperor, can you help train the other species? Teach them Vorkith battle tactics. Drazen smiled. It would be my honor. The Vorkith have fought for 2,000 years. We will teach the galaxy how to be warriors. Over the next months, the galaxy transformed. Every species worked together. Shipyards ran day and night building new warships. Soldiers trained constantly. Scientists developed new weapons. But they kept the truth secret. The citizens did not know about the main Reaver fleet. They thought they were just preparing for smaller threats. Sarah hated lying to people, but she knew the truth would cause panic. Commander Martinez approached her one day. Admiral, the people are asking questions. They see all the military buildup. They want to know why. Sarah sighed. Tell them we are building a strong defense to prevent another attack. It is not a complete lie. Meanwhile, Dr. Chin worked with a team of the galaxy's best engineers. They built 3 special ships called ghost ships. These ships used new technology that bent light around them. They were completely invisible. These ships can carry small teams through the Reaver lines, Dr. Chin explained to Sarah. But there's a problem. The invisibility only works if the ships move slowly. If they go too fast, the Reavers will detect them. How long will it take to reach the hive mind? Sarah asked. 6 hours. Maybe more. The strike team will have to fly slowly through the middle of the battle, while thousands of Reavers fight around them. Sarah understood. 6 hours of flying invisible, through a war zone. One mistake, and the mission fails. Everyone dies. I will lead the strike team myself, Sarah said. Emperor Drazen immediately objected. No, You are too important. The galaxy needs you. The galaxy needs someone who will not quit, Sarah replied. Someone who understands what is at stake. That is me. They argued for an hour. Finally, Drazen agreed, but only under one condition. I will come with you. If you fly into death, I fly beside you. Sarah smiled. Thank you, my friend. 8 months passed quickly. The galaxy was ready. 1 million ships from 50 different species gathered at the rally point. It was the largest fleet in galactic history. Sarah stood on the bridge of her flagship. Beside her was Emperor Drazen. Behind them were 2 other crew members for the Ghost Ship mission. Lieutenant Ramos, the best pilot in the human fleet, and Croth, a Vorkith warrior who had never lost a battle. Dr. Chin gave them final instructions. The Ghost Ship will separate from the main fleet once the battle starts. Remember, stay slow, stay invisible. Reach the hive mind and plant these charges. She handed Sarah 3 devices. Each one was a quantum bomb powerful enough to destroy a planet. Once you plant all 3 charges, you'll have 10 minutes to escape before they detonate, Dr. Chin said. Her voice was shaking. She knew this might be the last time she saw Sarah alive. Sarah hugged her sister. Take care of Earth if I do not come back. You will come back, Dr. Chin whispered. You always do. Suddenly, alarms blared across every ship. The sensors picked up a massive energy signature at the edge of the system. The Reavers had arrived. The main screen showed the terrible truth. Not 10,000 ships. 20,000 Reaver warships filled the space. They blocked out the stars. Commander Martinez's voice came over the communication channel. All ships, this is it. This is what we trained for. Remember, we are not fighting for ourselves. We are fighting for every child in this galaxy, every family, every future. Today, we show the Reavers that this galaxy belongs to us. 1 million ships powered up their weapons. 20,000 Reavers moved forward like a dark tsunami. Sarah looked at her team. Are you ready? Emperor Drazen gripped his weapon. I was born ready, Admiral. Lieutenant Ramos's hands were steady on the controls. Let us end this, ma'am. Croft roared Vorkith battle cry. Sarah took a deep breath. Then let us save the galaxy. One more time. The battle began.